Sarah needed a fresh start, a new city, a new apartment. An old building on Oakhaven Street called to her. Its brick facade was weathered, its windows dark. She ignored the prickling unease. It was perfect. The apartment was bigger than she expected. Dusty sunlight filtered through the windows. Shadows clung to the corners. Boxes lay scattered, waiting to be unpacked. Sarah took a deep breath. This was her chance. That night, she lay awake. The city noises were muffled. An unsettling silence filled the apartment. She felt a presence, a coldness that wasn't there before. Days passed in a blur of unpacking and exploring. Soft, unintelligible murmurs that seemed to slither from the wall. Heart pounding. Just the pipes, she muttered, pulling the blanket tighter. Something wasn't right. One night she saw it. A fleeting shadow. A figure standing at the foot of her bed. Tall and gaunt, shrouded in darkness. She blinked and it was gone. She couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. Every corner seemed to hold a lurking shadow. Her gaze fell on the ornate, full-length mirror propped against the wall. It was old, the silver backing tarnished with age. It hadn't been there before. Had it? Curiosity warred with fear. She cautiously approached it, her hand hovering over its cold, dusty surface. As she peered into its depths, her breath caught. A face stared back at her. Sarah stumbled back, heart hammering in her chest. She stared at her reflection, searching for any trace of the ghostly woman. Later that night, she woke to a noise, a soft, melodic hum coming from the mirror. It pulsed with a faint, ethereal light. Hesitantly, she got out of bed and approached it. The woman in the reflection was back. This time she seemed to shimmer, her form flickering like a candle flame. Sarah found herself mesmerized, unable to look away. The next day, Sarah sought out Mrs. Henderson, the building's elderly landlady. "The mirror?" Sarah asked, her voice trembling. "In my apartment." "Where did it come from?" Mrs. Henderson's face clouded with a deep sadness. "Ah, the mirror," she sighed. "It belonged to the previous tenant, a young woman. She vanished without a trace a year ago. She always claimed the mirror spoke to her, voice barely a whisper, said it showed her things she shouldn't see." Days turned into weeks. The mirror held Sarah captive in its thrall. She found herself drawn to it, compelled to look into its depths. The woman in the reflection grew stronger. Her touch was icy cold. Her voice, a haunting whisper, echoed in Sarah. "We are the same," the reflection would say, her eyes burning into Sarah's soul. One night,